All right. So my name is Bradley Rapier, and I'm the creative director of Cantinas Arts, but I also speak from a place of what this dance has done in my life and bring it to you so that regardless of whether you're a dancer or you're a dentist, it doesn't matter, that you're going to get some different levels of freedom in your life. And the reason that I have this groove playing, I won't have it the whole time. You know, for some people it's like, hey, can you turn the music down? So everybody's different. But for me, the way that I'm designed, music like activates me. It gets me going. Now, even if I'm not going to dance, I might be writing something. I might be trying to produce something. I might be trying to solve a problem or figure out how to discipline my son. Just kidding. He never needs that. But whatever it might be, sometimes if I get blocked, I will put on music. And music activates, impacts my heart, and then all of a sudden I feel inspirations come. I get answers. It's something that works for me. We all have our things. Some people back in the day used to whittle. You probably haven't heard that word. People used to whittle. Maybe some of you. What are some things that you guys do that just activate you, that get you in a place where you're not so concentrated on the now and you're allowing your mind to just be free? Anything? Anybody? Yes. Reading. Good. Reading is excellent. Wait, she gets a prize somehow, some kind of prize, maybe some corn chips. Just kidding. Great. And you?
Blasting out music in my ears.
Blasting what?
Music.
Blasting music. Video games, Fortnite, there we go. Music. Yes. Any type of performing. Excellent. Yeah, one more. Go ahead. Food. Just like, what about food? Eating food or making food?
Making food.
It just, yeah, the smells, the aromas, right? Yeah. Yeah, just all the aspects of that. So one of my this class I called it How to Impact as a Creative Voice of God in the Spheres of Culture. And my goal is that you leave with a confidence, regardless of how creative you think you are. And we're all creative. Everybody here is creative. So just throw that out the door. You're all creative. We are made by a creator. Therefore, we are creative. It's impossible not to. We mirror him. He is the ultimate creator. We must be some type of creative people. Yes? Impossible not to be. So if you say that you're not creative, not true. All right? So regardless of what that is, whether it's bakery, whether it's creativity in math, I love this one. Think about math. How many here love math? Come on, a minute. You can admit it. I loved math, man. I was a math maniac. Math, I love this idea that E equals MC squared because E always equals MC squared. And that all of math is eternal. It's, again, part of a design. That when you are excited by math, it's not by mistake. There's things that are in us. So I want you to realize that regardless of how creative you feel you are, that there's things that you can be empowered by so you can find your authentic self and be effective in this culture. Now, a little bit of backstory. Let's get dramatic. Bring the music down a little bit so I can get a little dramatic. A little backstory. So I grew up in Canada. That's where I was born and raised, in Canada. And so I grew up in a culture that was academics and athletics. That was the main thing. Of course, a lot of winter sports. Skiing was my big thing. And so I didn't know dance at all. It wasn't that kind of thing. I didn't grow up dancing out of the womb like some people think when they ask me questions. I wasn't that guy. I had a lot of great time with sports in school. And it wasn't until later that it was actually like 12th grade and first part of university. I was at a school dance, okay? We called them, well, back then, maybe this is a Canadian thing, but we called them shags. What is that? I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a British influence, I think. So we were at a shag, and I'm at this dance. Now, again, the context is culture. Things are culturally contextual, right? We know what we know by the people, the groups that we're in. That gives us a sense of culture, right? Our ethnicities and all that are just great examples of the diversity of the Creator, but really we're shaped by the cultures, and we want to shape culture. And we shape culture by finding out who we are and being who we are authentically in that culture. That's how we're going to shape it, right? Because when we unleash who we are, then the true creativity will come out so that everything you're learning this weekend and beyond comes out in this way that creates and connects to some specific person or some group of people. So in that culture, there wasn't a dance atmosphere when I grew up. So I grew up in that atmosphere, and I was mainly an academic and an athlete. And there was a bit of, in my family, my father loved jazz music, so I heard jazz growing up. And my mother loved to dance to the steel drums, the Trinidadian kind of thing, but I saw that once in a while. So I'm at a school dance, so you have to understand, I'm the only kid in my school that has a sweet fro. Like, it was like really smooth. It was like sweet. I should have had a big picture of that. It was sweet, okay? I'll show you evidence later. And so I was the only one. So only one in my whole going to school was that looked like that. So the fact that I could do this was a pretty big deal. Okay, the fact that I could sway, that was pretty cool. So here comes this dance. In walks in this tall, lanky guy. Walks into the school dressed in bright clothes, crazy dressed, and he starts just doing stuff. And the kids, my high school friends, are like, "Hey, Bradley, you gotta go challenge that guy." I'm like, "What? Are you kidding me?" You know, I walk over there, and this guy, I'm over there, so I'm grooving over like this. And this guy's like, he's doing all this stuff. I didn't know what it was. I later on found it was called locking, right? I didn't know what it was back then. I'd never seen it. It didn't exist for me. And here I was just trying to do this thing. So I saw that. I said, cool. I freaked out. I was like, wow, what was that? Met the guy. We became kind of friends. But I went back to school. I went to university. I was going to be a doctor like my father, all this kind of lineage thing that I was doing. I'm in university, Bachelor of Science, going away. 2 years later, this guy comes, and he's learned this other dance style. So he comes there. You have to imagine, if you can do this, I don't know if it's going to be hard for you because you're young enough that it's like it's always existed for you, but never, ever seen it before, right? He goes, Bradley, met a friend who was connected to a guy from the States. They got this new thing happening down there. I learned it. I want to show you. I want to make a group. We're going to start something here in Canada. So all of a sudden, he walks out and he goes, and then he goes, so what happened was, I used to have hair like hers. My hair then went straight up and stuck like this. It just flew up in the air. My hair just changed styles there. It just became this thing. So I was just captivated by this. Now, what happened for me? Everyone, we're all different, right? For me, I had done a lot of stuff, skied and sports and track and field and football and basketball. I loved all that. Something for me, when I saw that, God revealed another level of freedom for me that I just had not experienced. I don't even know how to explain it because I'm like, well, I played sports, I did things, but this was something different. So then I chased that. I went after that with abandon. And I went after this freedom that I thought I just have to find more about it. Take me all across Canada. I did a lot, started to grow as an actor, dancer, model, all that stuff. As a model, as a matter of fact, let me give you a little bit of that. Okay. And it all started to just grow in that area. And within that, then I started traveling in the States. And there's a lot of story there. I don't go into all that for this time. I want to get into some stuff to really activate you. But I was chasing this thing, but initially it was from the wrong place. Okay? I didn't understand what was there. I knew there was something else behind the dance that I was experiencing, right? I saw something that attracted me, right? So, one of the things that I looked at when I saw the dance was that there was something in the culture that they called freestyle. You guys heard that word before, freestyle? What does freestyle mean to anybody here? Freestyle? Go ahead. Yes, sir. Oh, that's the first time. I've never heard that. I mean, I know what it is. That's right. You're exactly right. Oh, geez, who got the word first? Dancers or swimmers? I gotta do some research. Okay, good. Anybody else? Freestyle.
Just doing whatever you want to.
Okay, close. Yes.
Dancing without choreography or plan.
Excellent. In the dance format, yes. One more? Oh, just hang on. What's up? So, freestyle in their culture is free for freedom, style for you. So it brings you to what you're doing, okay? Whether it's dance or not, but in the dance culture it was freedom. And you're right, it was without choreography. So in the hip hop, we'll say, when I learned it was called street dance culture. In that street dance culture, freestyle, exactly right, meant when you went and danced, you didn't have anything prepared. You heard the beat, and you started to go. And in that moment, you then had to just trust and go and build, and it became this thing called freestyle. And the coolest thing is I watched it, and I couldn't do it at first. Believe me, I was going in there calculated. Just as a side note, I taught at USC for about 6 years, and when I taught there, every season, every term, the students would say to me, "Hey, Mr. Rapier," or they call me Shoes. That's my street and my alias. And they'd say, "Can you teach us that move and that move? Can we learn how to break? Can we do this? Can we do some house? Can we do some tutting? Whatever they would ask me." And I'd say, "Well, listen, we're going to learn these things through the class, but I want you to learn how to dance first." And they go, "What do you mean? What do you mean learn how to dance? We know how to dance." So I'd say, "Okay, I put on some music," and I'd say, "Go ahead, dance." And what would generally happen is they'd start to dance, and they'd do something for about 15 seconds, and then stop. I go, "Why'd you stop?" And they go, "Well, I did my thing." I said, "Okay, that's cool. But I do believe you're missing out on what this culture is offering you, because you're thinking of it in a certain way of what to do as opposed to what to be inside of the dance." And that's the difference too within this dance culture of hip hop. You are required to know who you are. So the one thing that I really grasped as I started traveling into the States, I went from doing the Goofy movie, which is one of the first big things I did. I don't know if you guys have seen that. In the Goofy movie, I was actually Goofy. I'm the guy I'm the dance reference for Goofy. In Dance with Powerline and all this, the perfect cast. So from Goofy movie to La La Land, dancing these things, and then I was able to do just a ton of stuff. We can ask me questions later, but working from Broadway to internationally, from So You Think to Dance with the Stars, just all sorts of different programs. But through that, in the culture, I was looking at the dance culture wrong. I was seeing that there was, okay, it's about that move, it's about that thing. Okay, that guy did that, I gotta learn that thing. Okay, she did that, I gotta figure out how they did that. And I was not fully grasping what freestyle meant, what it meant to be myself. The one thing about the culture that I think is why it is so popular is that in the hip hop culture, and not You Got Served and the movies that have all the battles and all that stuff, and I get in your face, and I'm gonna do that, and then you come over here and I go, hey, you know what, it's not like that. It's more like, the actual culture is there's a circle, but it's really an exchange. It's an exchange. And the ones that are in there that know the culture recognize you cannot survive in the culture as an imitation. The culture doesn't really allow that, right? You guys know what that term's called when they copy people in the culture? Anybody heard the term? Anybody know that? Go ahead.
Is it like cultural appropriation?
Oh, wow, she went deep. No, I've never heard a term that, but I know she said cultural appropriation. I was going to say biting. Okay, we have this term in the dance that if you're going out there and you continually just do what someone else does, then you'll see this, which means you're biting somebody else. You're biting their moves so much that you're becoming them. So the idea is that you have to know who you are and step into that to survive in the culture. So as I stepped into that, the freestyle, what was also very cool about it is that they would continually, when they made mistakes, what would they do when you make mistakes in your life? What usually happens? What often happens when you make a mistake? What do you feel like? Was that embarrassed? Yes? Disappointment. Go ahead. Anybody else? Guilt. Okay. Yes? Frustration. So in the culture, when they make a mistake, you know what they do? They turn that mistake into a move. All right, so I'm dancing. I don't know. I can't make a mistake, have it on purpose, but I'm dancing away. I'm going. I kind of fall. Then I go, and I get up a little way, and then I do something. I might fall a little way. I go a little back a little way. I do this to get out of it. Something will happen if I just stay in it, right? But if I go, I lost my balance. Oh, man. Oh, man. Dang it. Right? Jeez. But no one knows except you. And actually, some people do know, but they go, oh, look how he got out of that thing. Whoa! And then they're like, yeah, I'm hyped. Why? You released something. You released a freedom, a trust. Now, there's a scripture that we know well, that now the Lord is spirit. And where the spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom, right? We've heard that before? Yes? Do we know that line? God is freedom. So we have to be free, right? Right? We have to be free. And that's a big ask. That's a big ask, because how do you be free within the confines of life? And what does freedom mean? So then what I took that to mean as well, is I want to just, before I go further, is that freedom itself is not the goal. Okay? Freedom for freedom's sake, what does freedom for freedom's sake can look like? What does that look like? Freedom for freedom's sake, just to be free. Anybody? Any thoughts? I love this guy with the hat. Just freedom for freedom's sake is chaos. It's destructive. It means, I'm free. Let me just throw this thing through the window. I'm free. Here we go. Slap, 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 slap. Boom. Here we go. I'm free. Whah! Right? Right? I'm free. Look how free I am. I can do whatever I want. Let me go now. Let me just kick this camera, Chris, right in the head. Right? You can pay for it later. Right? That's freedom for freedom's sake. Right? Freedom must be attached to what? Foundation, who you are, your identity. Without that, it's just whatever. When you see art, and art again doesn't just mean dancing and singing and acting. When you see art, if it's kind of like, you're like, why would somebody paint that? Why would somebody do that, whatever? It has nothing, it's too late to look at that. It's like, what do they believe? What do they think they are? What do they believe is their foundation? What are their belief values? That, your art and what you do reflects what you are. So you have to know who you are. Right? Does that make sense? So now, in the freedom and foundation thing, I found that you have an opportunity in your foundation. This whole weekend is about foundation. I mean, it is like ridiculous. I love it. Apologetics is one of my things that sometimes I can sit and listen all day to. And we have to build and build and build our knowledge and our foundations of what we believe, right? But what happens if you build a foundation around yourself? What would happen? Would I be able to move? If I built a foundation around me, like all around me, right? If I have no foundation, I'm just falling off the clouds. But the way I think about it metaphorically is that when I build a foundation in my beliefs, in what I know about the Word, about God, about the foundations of the earth, I take that foundation, but I leave that layer of sand on top of it. So I can glide over it, right? I can float on it, all right? But I'm still connected to it. I'm still connected to, oh, there it is. It's like if I'm riding my bicycle to school and there's a dotted line along the road, I can be free going around those dotted lines. But there's no dotted lines, it's not so much free, I'm just swaying back and forth. So it's just understanding what freedom, freedom and freedom and foundation are a pivotal thing. So now, let's get into a couple things, because I know time's going to go by real fast. I have this phrase. Who knows this? Who can guess the phrase that I have in mind? Anybody? Any thoughts? Go ahead.
It's not the move, it's the girl.
Good. This girl is good. All right. So it's not the move, it's the groove. And by the way, as I mentioned, I'm the creative director of Cantinas Arts, and also myself, Bradley Rapier. We have a booth at the little whatever that's area called, where you can see these lovely shirts. But anyways, it's not the move, it's the groove. What would I mean by that? When you live your life, or if you dance, so it's with a dance, so if you live your life or dance based on moves, you will run out of moves. Right? So if I'm dancing and I'm going, okay, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do this and that and this and that. Oh gosh, the song's going along, or the beat change. Oh my gosh. If I'm trying to, I cannot memorize enough moves and combinations. It's impossible. It's impossible. But if I'm connected to this, the groove is actually the dance. The groove is the dance. All right? So if I'm doing this, and I'm teaching a class, and I say a little side to side, right? Everybody knows this. And I have the class behind me, and they're kind of going, okay, Bradley, when are you going to teach the choreography? And I go, well, if you just let this and dig into what this is, you have a whole dance all day. If you understand just the groove is the dance. The moves fit in between them. So I want to do a couple of things now, because we're going to run out of time. I need, let me see, let me have, I love that. I didn't say anything yet. Hands are going up. Okay, so let me have, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 people up here. Yes, sir. Oh, sure. All right. So let me just back this up a little bit. So I'd like you guys, can you all go stand over there and just get in a clump? You know what a clump means? Face different directions. Just clump up in front of that desk. Clump, like face different directions. Get clumpy. Yes, you are in there. Okay, clumped up. All righty, perfect. So I would like my lovely lady, my lovely blonde girl right there. Stay, don't look, stay looking at. I want you to describe, I want you to tell the gentleman, you can't see him right now, but I want you to tell the gentleman that was, if you can remember, that was wearing the white hoodie. I want you to tell him how much and describe how much you like his hat, and tell him about his hat. Go ahead.
I think it's like black and gray with blue, and there's a decal that's like a D and an X on it.
And what do you think about it? What do you think about it?
I think it's a pretty cool hat, even though any type of superhero hat is even better.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Not bad. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Okay, quickly. Come over here. Come over here. All you guys come over here. Come stand here. Give me 2 rows, 2 columns of 4 people. So 4 behind 4, this way 4, like facing me. 2 columns of 4. Columns. Columns. That's it. In rows and columns. Nope. 2 columns. All right. See? Here we go. 2 columns. All right, 2 good lines. Okay, great. Great. All right. So, can you do me a favor? I would like you to tell my man in the back with just the, I won't say anything. He's my man in the back, the very back of the line. Just tell him, chop. I want you to tell him what you think about his sneakers and how he chose them. Go ahead, tell me.
I think his sneakers are really cool, and that.
What about them?
They look good on him.
Safe room. All right, great. Now come here. Make a circle. Uh-oh. No, this is a circle now, not a column or a row. You have a circle. Make it a little bigger, so there's a bit of gap so people can see inside of it. There you go. It's like a see-through circle. Yeah, look at you guys. People are brilliant. Left a little bit of space. All right. So what is it right now? What has happened with this shape? What is different about a circle? Go.
It has no corners.
Excellent. And what is another way of saying it? It has no...
It's round.
It is round. Anything else? It's good. No corners, and it is round, sir. What about it? What is it? What's different about it from what I asked you to do? What does it allow you to do? What does it change by the other positions and shapes you just were in? Go.
We could actually make it on the first try without...
You could? Why is that?
Because it has no shape. It's round, so it's kind of easy to make, and I guess we all understood at once like what to do.
Right? Okay. Tell me something else that makes this shape different. Go ahead. Okay, good. And here?
We can all see each other.
Excellent. Woo! Some orange justice. Let's hit it. Okay, so, all right. So now, a circle, immediate community, immediate relationships, right? Continual, you were saying that kind of, right? It's continuous, it doesn't stop, it's got no corners. That's kind of what I'm going to just say you said that. So it's continuous, endless, limitless. We're all focused where? On me? Well, no. Well, okay, now you are because I'm standing with the microphone. But if I didn't have a microphone, I was just one of you guys, where would we all be focused?
The person across from you.
Oh, really? Interesting. As a whole, where are we all focused? As if we had a bigger circle, right? If it was a whole room and we're in a circle, where would we all be focused? In the inner of the circle. Yes? Okay, now we want this. Marcus, I would love you to play just a beat. Now listen, this is not a dance contest. This is not, so you think you can dance? No, this is not that. I don't want anything like that. This is not a dance class. This is just a metaphor. But what I do want you to do, This does not need to be a dance move at all. I want you each to just think of something you might do very small. It might just be this. It might be this. It might be this. Right? You decide. Just something very basic that, or whatever you're comfortable with. Not too crazy because you got to do it for a while. So don't start sweating on me and doing the running man and whatever you know. No backflips and all. Just chill a little bit. So Marcus, give me a little beat there. Okay. So you just decide what you want to do. We'll go from there. Okay. Oh, okay. What's happening here? It's kind of lovely. Here we are at the Groovaloo Lounge. Saturday night. The band's going to be good tonight. Ladies looking very nice. Yes. Okay, so what do we have? Just start, just go ahead, go ahead, do your move. You do your bounce, go. He's got his little heel tap, little heel lift. She's got a little sway. He's got a little side shoulder. She's got a little mini dap. She's got a little ankle roll. Nice. Okay, keep going now. Now, the circle, this is a metaphor for life. Are you guys okay to keep going for a while? You're not going to pass out on me? You all right? All right. So now, what are other things in life? I'm now standing in the center of the circle, right? All eyes on me, right? What are other things in life that are similar or that this represents in life of standing in this circle? Shout them out. Anything in life that's like this when you're at the center. Go ahead. Anyone? Bueller? How about when you... Oh, go ahead. Yes. Repetitive. How about when you are the new kid in class? How about when you get a promotion at work? How about when you're asked to do some public speaking? How about when you're asked to also lead a group out of nowhere? Or also you have to take some people into a new land. You're also in the center of the circle. So, when you're on the side of the circle, looking at the center, we're kind of going, let's say something that happened right now, and we're all going, who's going to go in the center and lead us? Now, ooh. See, can you feel that? Who can feel that? You guys feeling that a little bit? Excuse me for a second. I just have to.
I feel the wave of the...
Yeah? Now, as you go to that center, understand that the way that you envision the center is not the same as it is. All right, turn that down, Marcus. Give him a hand. You guys take a seat. Excellent. So, all right. So, when you are in the center, as I said, this is analogous to being in whatever circumstance that relates to your life when you feel, hey, everybody's looking at you. What do you got to say? Okay, I have an idea for something, and I want to know what you have to say about it, right? And for that second, whoa, I'm in the center. What are some ways that you can get from the edge to the center? We've been on the edge, whether it's realistically, like, have you guys all been to a wedding before? Yeah. Right? Or a bar mitzvah of your friends that maybe have bar mitzvahs or whatever it might be. And there's usually a circle forms, right? Yeah. Right? And often there's someone in the party of one of the family members, I'll call him Uncle Joe, who tends to be very free. And he gets in there and that leg starts going and that elbow starts going and he just starts getting a little thing in there. Good. You know, little Elaine Bennett starts happening with him and he's just there. But I'm not saying he's not inebriated. He's just Uncle Joe, right? So the next time we go to a wedding, we see Uncle Joe. What do we want Uncle Joe to do? The stanky leg, right? We don't want him to be somebody else, right? But what happens? We actually, part of us can be jealous of Uncle Joe. Because we kind of go, man, that's Uncle Joe. That's just Uncle Joe. You know, he's got just this cool beard. He's got this great, suit on. He's just Uncle Joe. Why is it we give him more grace to be himself than we give ourselves? Why is it we feel that there's a freedom that he has that we don't have? It's not true, right? So the perceptions, what are some of the perceptions that we have that the center is? You said them earlier. What are some things that when you're at the center of the spotlight that you feel is happening that may not really be happening? What are some ways that you feel that make you not want to go to the center? Anything? Anybody? Judgment? Bouncy. All right. That's a good one. Judgment to bouncy. Yes? Like you're going to puke.
Like you may mess up or something.
Like you may mess up. So what do you do? Yes, one more. Nervous. So what do you do with a mistake? What do you do with a mistake I mentioned earlier? Turn it into a move, right? Life isn't always choreographed. Sometimes you got to freestyle. So now, when you have that thing, that's the perception. But I'm standing here. Let me tell you something. It's okay. Yeah, you guys are looking at me, but you're not. If I just fell down on the ground, right? But then I stood back up and got back up, what do? You go, yeah, he got back up. He did it. But if it happened to us, we feel like the whole world just fell apart. We fall in that center. Oh my gosh, my life's over. I'm so embarrassed I can never exist again. But if someone else falls down, gets back up, woo! Why do we separate the freedom that they have from the freedom that we have? So I want you to start analyzing in your mind what times in your life when you find yourself saying, I don't have that freedom. Or you realize that I've really been doing that a lot. I'm not free in this. I think they can do it. That's because it's Susie, and Susie's just, she can do it. I don't mean dancing again. I mean in life. You have that same freedom. You're connected to that. Now, just a time check for me. Do I have till 4 or 10 to 4?
4.
Good, okay. You guys good? Are you guys good? All right. Just checking. Okay. So, there's this scripture that I love that you guys know from 1 Corinthians. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no heart has imagined, I love that part, what God has prepared for those that love him. I think of that when I think about this idea, meaning with the groove, I get to the groove by becoming aware of the groove, number one. I become aware of the groove in my life. When you can be that, when I say groove, I use this term to relate to culture. I'm meaning spirit. I mean the fact that creation speaks and I can just see it. I mean the fact that why do I have you guys in this shape? Why are you guys in this shape? Right. My wife and I moved these chairs around because I actually, if I could, you'd be fully around me. Why? It keeps me alive. If it's a long row of chairs, I'm just kind of doing this. Nothing wrong, it happens sometimes, but you're kind of, I can't see you then. You're 20 rows back, and I'm hoping, is she sleeping back there? I don't know what's happening. And here, I have to go over here and say, oh my gosh, I didn't pay attention over here. I have to be alive. I start turning this, which then increases my awareness overall. I'm looking up. I'm looking down. Wow, there's stuff all around here. There's some other things going on. Can you feel that? Yeah, it's over here. It's happening over here. There's things that I become more aware of in my life by the idea of thinking I'm in the center. In a good way. So when I think of that idea, I get aware of it. Then I trust it, because the more I see it, the more I see it. I've used this example. My wife and I recently bought a Honda. You guys heard of Honda Accords, of course, right? That's the popular car. But we recently bought, well, not recently anymore, but a few years ago, we bought a Honda Accord Sport. Right? We're like, yeah, we'll be cool. So we got a Honda Accord Sport. Now, I'd never heard of a Honda Accord Sport until I got one. And now I see them everywhere. So the more you choose to be aware of that groove, the way that God is speaking in so many forms, countless forms, endless forms, invisible forms, Spirit illuminating your heart, grabbing you, directing you, then once you choose to see it, you will see it more. Then you'll trust it more. But eventually, dun, 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 it comes back to the circle. How do you get from the edge to the center? Perception is judgment. Perception is disappointment. Perception is nervousness. Perception is bouncy, and other things. But what's really going on? I want to share this with you. Okay. So, how will I do this? I'm going to do this. So, you've seen this before, right? I need one more. I'm stealing this guy's chair. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Okay. So, all right. So, this is, can you guys hear me? Yeah. This is, so, often in the world, let me do this for 1 second. I'll put this here for 1 second. Have you guys all seen The Voice? Yeah. All right. So in The Voice, there it is. There she is, Alicia, Gwen, whoever it is, and I'm here. Please turn around. My parents are here. The whole world sees me. Go on. Turn that chair around. Nothing, right? Often, well, this is basically how the world operates. Now, I love The Voice. I'm just saying, the world, what does the world say? I got to prove. I got to show what I got. You better be great. And if it doesn't, I'm not turning around. Now, how many of you, if you're honest with yourself, sometimes see God like that? Right? You know, we know He's not. We know He's not, but we put Him in that voice chair. Right? We put Him there. We put Him there. Now, I'll try this real quick. Just play that beat you had, Marcus. Doesn't matter. Just quietly. Give it up for Marcus. So I'm over here trying to get this chair to turn around. And then I'm here in this place. Now what happened was, this revelation came to me that I want to share, is that these chairs were shown to me like this. And of course, the mystery of God is that we know God is light. We don't get to really see God. He's in a cloud. He is spirit. But yet we say He sits, and then we say Jesus sits where? On the right side. And where here? Who's here? Right. So it's this mystery that it's real, but it's also, at the same time, they're out everywhere else, right? But they were in relationship. How good of a relationship do I have if my whole life I'm sitting here and I want to get to know you? Hey, how you doing? Yeah. It's really, I think that's right. I think that's good. At some point, I've got to be here. Hey, how you doing? Good, doing good. Right? So if I take the same relationship, but envision it like this, it's still the same sides. All that time in my life as I went through the circles, and believe me, I went through many circles in LA. When I first got there, I was dancing with some of the best in the world and continued to do so, and I would go and I would walk and I wouldn't know why. I couldn't figure it out. I'd get there and I'd go, man, it's going to happen tonight. We're in Hollywood tonight. I'm going out. I'm ready. Spend half an hour getting ready. Here we go. Let's go. Get to the club, start dancing. And also go, oh my gosh, she's here. Shoot. She's here. Okay, yeah. Oh, she's here too. Dang it. Okay, yeah. Oh, he does this style. And then I was just, I didn't know what was going on. I would leave home crying sometimes. I would admit it. I would do it for the first while when I was just going there. And I got this revelation that I was looking at the circle as a place of fear and a place of judgment, everything you said. But I realized that was a choice that I was making. The center, I believe this is a more accurate picture. Again, it's not literal, I guess, but it's literal in my, it's so clear to me now that this is the original circle. That's the original circle. All these circles that happen, and in real life, the circle expands and includes all of us, right? But my point is, your identity is here. When I sit here, what's happening? What's happening from this chair? What's coming from this chair? What's coming from this chair? No, from this chair. This is God. Not that chair. This chair. Love. Love's just coming. Woo! Love. This chair, what's coming? What's happening? Some things that are happening. This chair. Intercession. Advocating for me. Over and over. Just speak and say, no. I don't forget what the world's saying. He's amazing. He's amazing. You should get what you see. No. He's the best. Right? And what's happening over here? Illuminating this whole relationship. Right? This is the Spirit, right? This is just illuminating this whole thing. I stand here fully in my identity. That's the center. Now, being here in that full identity, I don't come here from pride. I don't come here from, I've got to be something, right? I come here from, Jesus said, come. I just come here. And then whatever it is now, when, like right now, turn that up just a little bit, Marcus, just a bit. Now, I want to explain something. Right now when I'm dancing or moving, I should say, I'm just kind of, this is me now. I'm not sure I'm human, so parts of me will notice you, and I'll turn that balance between performance and staying inside is a challenge for all of us. But I'm just like, it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to find out where that groove of this song is for me. Where am I going to connect? Right? I'm just free. And in that now, as I grind into that freedom, digging into this identity, I stretch in ways I've never stretched before because I'm no longer holding myself back to what I was supposed to do. This is where you want to be. Seth Godin has this book that says, what to do when it's your turn, and it's always your turn. This center here, you have this opportunity to be here and choose to see the center as peace, excitement, new journey, new boundaries for you, new growth for you. And as a matter of fact, I believe if you stay on the edges, again, this is not condemnation. You won't be loved any less or any more by God. But if you stay on the edge of the circle, like we many do in parts of our life, you will remain an imitation of yourself or others because you're not going in there. Sure, you're going to do stuff. You're going to be fine. You're going to do well. But you're deciding, because of fear of comparison and judgment, to stay in this place of, I've done this before. I'll keep doing what I've done. I've seen that before. They did that. This is a safe way to go. No, I'm not going near that. Not going near that. You will remain an imitation. Do you want to be an imitation? No. And for this culture, for you guys to step in with all this knowledge, right? I say this with all immense respect for how we must train in what we love. The Word of God, whether it might be mathematics, it might be some other things that you do, but we have to train in our foundations. We train, we study, we do all that stuff. But I do believe in some respects that knowledge alone, talent alone, skills alone, charisma alone, those things are moves. They're moves, and they can be very ineffective on their own. It's why, generally, do people want to be lectured to? They want to be engaged. Hey, man, how you doing? What do you think? What's going on? And then as you get to know them, then you have all this knowledge, and then you trust, and then you go, you come in with a foundation. When I come to this talk, I have an idea what I'm going to say. I'm not going to just wing it, but I also go, let me try this. Because I just go, yeah, let me try this. It might not work, but I'm going to try it. And in that place, I will grow in a place that then when you step into that authenticity, the things that you have in your life that you're going to keep discovering, and the circle never ends, so there's layer upon layer upon layer of this. You're going to have more authenticity as you go to the next level, as you influence culture, because it's you guys that's going to do it. And, I'll keep trying to do it as well, of course. I think what I should do, because we're out of time, let me give a little time for questions, so I don't just keep going on. But I want you to just really grasp the idea that ultimately your effect, you are to be free, you are to be you. If you are coming from a place, I'll give one last example of this, if I'm on the outside of the circle, this is a dance example, but it's the same idea. You had those people up there before, I had them doing this, and they were doing this, and they were doing that. If I'm on the side of the circle, and all this is happening, and now I got to go in the center. And let's say I'm doing this. This is my group. Let's say I'm just doing that. What do I need to do to go to the center? What do I need to do? Yeah. Do I need to change anything? No, I just go, oh yeah, this is what it is. Oh, now I'm here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, it feels a little weird. Wow. All right. But, oh, man, let me drop this down a little bit. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. And I start to realize that's all I have to do. What often happens for all of us, and this happens to me in other areas, this is all for you to analyze what you do in your life and see these points when you do this. What circles will happen, and I might go, okay, we're making a dance circle. All right. And this doesn't mean you shouldn't do this, but sometimes if it's the wrong place, I say, go, and the person on the side goes, and they start doing the worm, and they smack their head on the floor. And then this guy comes on and starts breaking, and he's like, he's 60 years old, he starts breaking, and he pulls a muscle, because we think we have to make some grand gesture. We don't. Uncle Joe, well, his was like this, but Uncle, I just got to go in. Does that make sense? Stay in your groove, breathe, trust, be in your identity in the circle. All right, thank you. Any questions? Let's do some questions. Yes, sir.
What would you say to the backlash for being Christian?
Backlash for being Christian. I have I can't believe how things have happened. So I have, interesting. Not any severe backlashes. So I'm looking at my wife going, because she remembers stuff more than I do on that. More like just, I guess, there's an awareness that, like when I get on a set, as I mentioned, I was able to work on La La Land, just in the opening dance scene, if you saw that. And what was very cool about that was we were there for days in the heat, and so we're in trailers. And the Christian in me goes, okay, quick, okay, so how do I start picking this person, throwing some scriptures? That whole pressure we sometimes feel like I got to make it happen right now. Let me give them the knowledge, let me give them the download of everything that happened in apologetics. Let me just lay it on them. But I thankfully just, again, breathe. I'm here. God, you have me here. Let me get to know this guy. And so I built just a ton of relationships with these people. And then in that, so in terms of the backlash, I guess what's been a very beautiful thing that I've experienced is, I think because of my approach, I generally, when I start talking about an issue that is, quote, a Christian issue, it now is out of conversation. I don't sort of stop the conversation and say, hey, so what do you think about abortion? I start talking, and if that comes up, I'm kind of listening. I'm also wise. If the whole room is got flaming pitchforks and they're ready to kill somebody that disagrees, I might kind of go, is this the time to do it? Is this the time to think? But then I get the one-on-one. I go, what do you think about this? I really think that there's something more to life. What do you think? And just probe and probe, so that it's kind of like it's a conversation, because debates, especially outside that way, they don't always go as far. Does that make sense? So I think I have not experienced much backlash because of that approach. Is there one more? Anything else? Well, I thank you all very, very much. Don't forget. Have a great day.